Hi, Matt with eTrailer. If you have a 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander and you're looking for something that's going to be able to carry a lot of different types of bikes and is really easy to store in your garage, then the Thule Epos bike rack is going to be a great option for you. So let's check it out. And what I mean by this being great for storage is just going to be how it folds up and becomes more compact and how it attaches to your vehicle too. But we'll talk about that later on. Right now, I just want to focus on the specs and how it's going to interact with our vehicle today. Now, we are a little bit close to our window back here. If you're on a really bumpy road, these are some pretty heavy conditions. This is how close we are right now. Now, this is a extra large frame mountain bike, so these handlebars are a little bit further out, but if you have extremely long ones, just keep an eye out for that. We're also going to have a weight capacity of 75 pounds per bike, but the carrier will have a maximum capacity of 140 pounds. So just make sure you stay within those limits. Now, when I see a lot of these heavy e-bike carriers, a lot of times they don't have great tilts. This one has an extremely good tilt. To show you what I mean, I'm just going to press down on this pedal on the front, pull this towards me. It moves really smoothly, and that's just the way they design how that weight to shift. But you can see this is a lot of room to work with. I can stand in between my bike rack and my back hatch, and that's going to allow me to open it up. And why that's important is if I'm out and about, I need to get back here, either to put away some groceries or take them out, I can do that. Or I just want to get ready for my ride. If I need to take a seat, maybe grab my helmet, tie my shoes, I can do that. And then when I'm done, I can close this back up and put this back into the seated position. And even if you do have those really heavy bikes on here, this doesn't take very much force at all. I can pretty much just move this with one arm without even trying. And if we want to take a closer look at this rack, I'm going to take off my bike. And to do that, I'm just going to remove these straps. These are pretty easy to do. You're just going to have one per tire, pressing in on it and pulling this out. You even have a location to tuck these away at, if need be, right here. And then something else I like about them too is they also act as ratcheting devices. So if you're struggling trying to pull this down as tight as you can actually just come over here, press up on this, and it'll actually ratchet down further, make that process easier for you. But we want to go in the opposite direction and take this off. And then the final point you want to take off is going to be that center mass at the top. So what I like about this is you can actually mount this either on your rear tire or on the frame itself. That gives you more options. So if you want more stability, the frame's going to be better. But if you have a carbon frame or alternative frame bike, this would be the better option for you too. And with this off, you can just move this out of your way. And you have two options. You could just lift it off, or you can push this all the way down. And if you invest in a ramp that you can buy separately, you can just simply roll this off. But either way works. And really all you have to do from here is just make sure this center mass is flat. You'll also notice we do have a locker on it. That's going to give you more security. And I'm just going to tuck this back in. You notice we also have that ratcheting device on here. This also pivots to accommodate for different angles of your frame. And you can actually pull up and push down on that to accommodate for different sizes too. Now we can get a few measurements just to see how it's going to sit back here. So the first measurement I like to get is the ground clearance. Going from the lowest point, that's going to be right here at 15 inches. So that's a little bit lower than some other options out there. But even if you have some heavier e-bikes, this is probably going to drop down at the most of 2 inches or so. I still think you're going to have plenty of clearance not to make ground contact. Just be sure that you keep an eye out for any of those really steep hills like driveways. Now, we can also get the total distance that's going to stick out. And this will be just about 27 inches, which is pretty compact for a 2-bike carrier. Now, this is going to sit a little bit close to a vehicle, and you actually won't have the ability to fold up like a lot of other types of bike racks out there. Really, the only other type of position this has is for storage. And it's going to look just like this. And nothing's really holding this into place, and that's part of the reason why they don't recommend to drive with it like this. The other reason is we're really not saving any space at all. If anything, we're blocking more items now. So if I were to push this down, you'd see we can fully see not only our license plate, but also our backup camera too. And you won't be obstructing your taillights or back window either. And the way this is going to be held in place is we're going to have this 1.25" shank with a 2-inch sleeve adapter on it, and that's going to be able to get us to work with these 2-inch receivers. It will also work with the 1.25" receivers. You just have to make sure you take off that sleeve adapter. And then we're going to have this anti-rattle hook that secures down to the side of it. Now, what makes this secure and anti-theft deterrent is actually going to be the anti-rattle device at the very back of it. The way this works is you just turn this handle like this. It can be a little awkward sometimes, but you'll notice we do have that lock core at the very end of it. It's going to be key to like with that lock core on that center mass. But it's not too bad once you get the hang of using it a few times. And with that all the way loosened up, you can actually just pull this pin here, pull out on it a bit, and then you can take it out. And this is a lighter carrier compared to some other options out there, so it doesn't take too much work to do. And if you actually want to use these wheels right here, all I have to do is press in on this button here. Now I'll actually release this shank so this can fold up, just like that. And from this point, really all you have to do is not even pick it up all the way. You do have handles on the side where you could pick it up like a briefcase, or you can just kind of leave those wheels on the ground and just wheel it around. Now, in my opinion, I think this is a solid choice if you are just trying to save room in your garage, or you're just tired of tripping over a shank of one of your other bike racks. Now, if I was going to compare it to any other type that is great for storage, then I'd compare it to the Benton Shifts and Grins bike rack. Now, there are going to be some major differences in the way they hold down their bikes, and just the way they look and the way they operate. Now, that is also going to have a much lighter weight capacity of 55 pounds, but it's also going to have this foldable shank, so it's going to be pretty compact too. But at the end of the day, it's going to depend on what type of bikes you're really hauling and how easy of a rack you're looking for, because this is going to be much lighter than the Benton bike rack. But that was just a look at the Thule Epos bike rack on the back of our 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.